Well, top executives from ratings agencies will be facing a grilling from lawmakers on Capitol Hill this morning about their role in the economy. Well, the CEO of Rapid Ratings, James Gellert, will be among them. Rapid is a boutique ratings agency that competes with the big players, Moody's, S&P, and Fitch. And James, thanks so much for joining us ahead of this hearing. Now, you say that Dodd-Frank regulation has not done a good enough job of making the rating system or these rating agencies more transparent. So why is that?
Betty, it's good to be with you. Thank you. It's true. I think Dodd-Frank has done some things well, but a lot of what it's done has really been counterproductive. The biggest positive effect that it's having is the removal of the references to the so-called nationally recognized statistical rating organizations, the NRSROs, from federal regulations. That'll be a very big step. It's not the only thing that needs to happen, but it'll be a big step to decrease reliance on the agencies. But a lot of the rest of the initiatives are really dramatically increasing the costs for any other NRSRO, and the biggest players, the ones that have caused potentially the biggest challenges in the market, are the ones that are best able to pay for this, and the smaller ones obviously will have a much more difficult time doing that. So,
is that the point that you want to make across to the subcommittee then? You know, as one of those who competes against the big three. I mean, what is the thrust of your main message today then?
Well, I've been asked to come as a non-NRSRO. We have elected not to apply for this designation for many of those reasons. There really aren't the benefits that we see to being an NRSRO relative to the costs incurred by being one. But I'm going to talk about a variety of things. One of them is that you really can't apply a single standard of accuracy to all ratings, because ultimately ratings are different. They should be seen as different measures, and risk managers should be taking in as many different factors as they can and not relying on any one factor. The more you make ratings the same, the more you homogenize them, the more you actually increase systemic risk by having people relying on essentially the same factor over and over again from different agencies.
So, James, and what is your warning? Because now all of a sudden the American public is so focused on the ratings and the AAA ratings of the United States, you know, on S&P, Fitch, and Moody's. What is your warning to them about these ratings downgrades, threats coming out from these agencies?
Well, I think the ratings from all rating agencies need to be taken into context with a variety of other factors. What we've seen here is probably the biggest exacerbation of this over-reliance on the big three, S&P, Moody's, and Fitch. And they have gotten themselves so embedded in this debate on the debt ceiling that it really is a challenge to in any way extricate them and think about this political process separate from the actual downgrades that may occur. I'm certainly hopeful that that will be avoided at the end of the day, but they've certainly got a lot of political air cover if they do ultimately make these downgrades, because the chaos here in Washington is certainly going to give them things to point to about why they were disconcerted about the entire process and ultimately the economic condition of the country.
Yeah, well, no shortage of debate about these agencies and the credibility of their ratings. James, thank you very much. I appreciate your perspective on that. James Gellert, the CEO of one of the smaller agencies, a rival, Rapid Ratings.